Hey, it's a pleasure being here among conservatives. It's kind of ironic. I'm following someone from a communist country, and here I came from a communist country. Obviously, by my last name, I ain't from around here. But let me tell you something. I was made in Havana, and I was raised in Savannah, Georgia, and by the grace of God, I am a Confederate Cuban, and I love the Confederacy. and I'm here to tell you, folks, that we are a country, we are a nation. We're not a country, we're a nation. There's a big difference here. And we're not multicultural. We have a culture called American culture. And we have indeed in the South, we have a great culture. And we need to embrace it because in the South, we're the last bastion of decency where people still call yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and treat each other with some decency, what you cannot find anywhere else in this country. And I tell to those people that want to change our ways, you know, the beauty about us is there's a one-way exit out of here where in some communist countries you can't get out. We'll let some people in, but, you know, anybody that wants to get out can do it. Now, talking about people coming in, this is issue about immigration that everybody tries to come. It's not about immigration that we have a problem with. It's about an illegal alien invasion that we're experiencing. Now, we've been talking about left, the communists and the Communist Party, but we also have to worry about this thing called corporate fascists, who are bringing and importing these people that are third world countries that don't live like we do, don't necessarily, I don't care how they look, they come in all shades of pale. You got 25,000 Irish illegals in Boston, you got all the Latin American people, but we cannot afford to balkanize ourselves. English is the language that unites us, and English must be the language that we keep. The minute if it wasn't for English, we could not talk here. The gentleman in the back could not have spoken. We spoke in English. That's what unite. And when I say unite us, I spell us as U.S. I have been fighting this issue of language since 1982 when President Reagan, I had the honor to work for him. He was a true conservative in the spirit of what it really means, conservatism, meaning what our forefathers had in mind. And the only mistake they happened to make was not codify language. It became English over English over German by one vote. But it is English, and we never codified it. It's never been threatened except this group called La Raza. You know, and if you know the definition of that, it means the race. You know, why is it that we Europeans cannot be proud of our heritage? We're called racist when we start saying something about how great our heritage is and how we must maintain our heritage. But if you're a different shade of pale or darker, you can criticize our heritage, you can criticize our religion, you can criticize our Christianity, but no, they're not racist. Right? I mean, that's what we see. And we need to put a stop to this. This is a great venue here. It's a great organization. I have known many members of it. I have worked in South Carolina to bring everybody together. We need to take this country back. We're not lost yet. We're not like England. That's another thing. The Muslims are here, and they're not going to integrate. They want to change our ways, and they want that Sharia law. And you talk about political correctness, just go to England and say something incorrect, you'll be locked up. We're not there yet. And by the grace of God, we must fight and not be there yet, ever. And whatever it takes, our Second Amendment should have been our First Amendment, because the Second Amendment is the one that protects the First Amendment. And that's our freedom of speech. And the second one is the right to bear arms. Communism is alive and well and in a different shade of pale. He talked about victimhood. You know, everybody wants to be a victim. You know, we're all in this country. The way it was founded, it was a minority of one. We're each a minority. We're each individual. Yes, we fight along each other. And we need to come together, just like we did come together after 9/11. And it was a difference between Monday and Tuesday. Monday we were apart. Tuesday we got bombed. For whatever goes behind that, we were bombed. And then we came together. It didn't last long. Because we got all media is against us. Media is anti-Christian. Media is anti-American. It's un-American. You know, I wish McCarthy was still around. He'd be having a field day putting people who testified against up on the Hill. But we cannot afford balkanization, folks. I've been fighting the illegal alien invasion in South Carolina. I'm bringing groups together and passing legislations. And what I have found out when I go to senators and they tell me, oh, well, we can't go after private employers because the Chamber of Commerce won't let us do that. Well, I don't remember the Chamber of Commerce electing anybody to office. I don't remember the office belonging to any individual. You know? It's, the offices belong to the people. And we are the people. We the people. That is the foundation of our great country, which I adopted. It adopted me. And by the grace of God, I am going to fight for this one, because I lost one when I was 10 years old. I couldn't do a lot then, but I can do a lot now. And I ask you to join me in this effort, to bring people with you, to get united, to expand this group, start going. I know that the churches is a good way to where to go, even though, you know, some of these pastors are cowards. You know, what if our Lord Jesus Christ had not had the courage to stand up and say what needed to be said? Well, these pastors are supposed to represent the Christianity and the message of the Lord, but yet they're scared to offend somebody, because everything is about political correctness. You know, well, we need to just stand up and take it. You know, again, you know, it is not, Oscar Wilde once says, well, if you can't debate, somebody just start insulting. And that's us, that's what we get, a lot of insults. Now, they can't figure what to call me yet, and it's kind of funny because I play that game, and I play it well. And I guess my last name helps in fighting and getting rid of these La Raza types. I fought them in 1982 when they wanted to make Spanish the language of equal to English. Now, Congress can barely get it together in English. You put Spanish in there and nothing will be done, which could be a good thing, right? I mean, I rest every time they're off, and they take a lot of vacations. You know, we have, like the gentleman in the back was saying, you know, our Western civilization is really what's at stake here and what they want to destroy. And this corporate fascist that I call, you know, he was talking about New York Times. I don't know if you know, sir, the New York Times is owned by General Electric, who also owns NBC News. And Walt Disney World owns ABC News. So, you know, we don't have a lot of, I hate the word diversity, but that's the best way to do it. There's not a lot of diverse ownership in our mainstream media. It is programs like what James has and talk radio that has allowed us to stand up and face and fight. That's why Trent Lott was freaking out and said, we got to stop talk radio when they were trying to cram amnesty down our throat. You know, unfortunately, I come from a state where we have a sissy, Lynn Sissy Gramnesty, we call him, who has betrayed us. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. He wants, you know, we got a president that has betrayed us. You know, I supported Bush somewhat, because I fought, when I worked for Ronald Reagan, I fought more of his daddy's people than I fought any liberal person, because as he was saying, he calls them, I don't call them country club conservatives, I call them country club Republicans, because that's, and rhinos you can call them, but conservatives they're not. Neoconservatives means new conservatives, and those are the ones that are rhinos, really. But folks, we need to take our country back. We cannot take any steps back. I mean, if we have to take a step, that might be to elect someone we might not put up with, but we can take it back in 2 years. When Bill Clinton got elected, in 2 years we took Congress back with conservatives. Okay, then go fast forward, Bill Clinton, he took polls, which is nothing wrong with taking the pulse of the people and see what the people want for once and forever and represent the people. And that's why he became popular, and he was so successful, because he had a Republican Congress, a real Republican Congress, based on those principles that the Republican Party once stood for. And he would say the country moves in a forward fashion. Then all of a sudden we get W elected, and everybody just gets cozy to the point that we have spent more money than any other administration has ever. And then we lost the Congress. Now, we can get some Yahoo in there for 4 years, and we might be able to take Congress back. But we'll get rid of John McCain once and for all. And that's what we need to do, because John McCain has betrayed us. He has lied to us. And I'm not one to follow a party just because it's a party. You know, I believe our principle and Constitution comes first. And our Constitution has been thrown, and it's not a GD piece of paper. The fact that our President of the United States said our Constitution is a GD piece of paper, to me, is treason. I won't keep you long. I just want to let you know that it's great being part of you. I have joined you for a lifetime. I want to be part of making this movement work. I can do that. I know how to do that. I know how to create havoc for the enemy. I've done it well. I have unseated several people that people were saying you can't get rid of them. And I said, let me show you how. And I said, where there's a will, people, there's a way. And I worked with one of the best mischievous operatives, the late Lee Atwater, and together we did wreak some havoc. We worked with Jesse Helms. He was the last one that of the great ones to serve. We just need another one. We just need to find him. We need to start recruiting. We need to start recruiting. We may have one with is he your son? Your son-in-law? Okay. But anyway, he sounds like someone that can be molded into something that we can, well, he doesn't need any molding. He's already talking the right talk and walking the right walk. Talk radio is going to be our only way. The Internet is our salvation. They're trying to restrict that. The fairness doctrine, there's nothing fair about it. It's fair to the left. They're trying to interject that. They're trying to do something with the Internet because it gives us the truth. You know, you can't escape. I could not have passed the immigration. I could not have pushed for the immigration bill that we passed in South Carolina to get rid of illegal aliens by self-deporting them if it hadn't been by me being able to keep every day, 4 hours every day, reading those bills. They would inject a poison pill to make it weak. And if you read my blogs, you would say one day you would think I was a schizophrenic, because one day I said, vote for this bill, the next day I said, don't vote for this bill. It's AmericansHaveHadEnough.org. I have some cards back there and just a little, it's nothing fancy. My background's in research, statistics, psychometrics, and public opinion survey. Anyway, I love to talk to you all if you want to ask me any questions about what we do, but please, we do have differences because we're individuals. The left are collectivists, and that's another way for communists. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. They stick together. We want to preserve our individualism forever, but we do need to come together to fight the good fight. May God bless you. May God bless the South, and may God bless America. Thank you very much.